If you're looking to clean up the appearance of the rear wheel wells while also adding a bit of protection at the same time, well, you should definitely consider adding these highly rated rear wheel well liners to your 21 and newer F-150. Now, these made in the USA liners will feature a durable black polyethylene build along with a limited lifetime warranty, all for right around that mid-$100 price point. So wheel well liners such as this, in my opinion, are going to be an awesome addition for two big reasons. First and foremost, it's going to dramatically clean up the look of those rear wheel wells on both stock, but especially on lifted trucks, and I'll talk more about that in a second. Secondly here, it's going to help protect the underside of not only the wheel wells themselves, but certain aspects of the frame, suspension, and so forth from things like dirt, rocks, and ultimately corrosion. Now these are going to act as sort of a barrier, helping to protect things we just talked about, including the wheel wells, frame, and so on, from things like corrosion, rocks, dirt, mud, snow, whatever. Now, getting back quickly to the appearance aspect of the wheel well liners here, I think these are going to be really helpful on trucks that are lifted substantially and on lighter colored trucks. The reason being, once you start lifting the truck, a sizable amount, those rear wheel wells get pretty visible, especially on those lighter colored trucks such as the white, silvers, and so forth. Now, I have a 6-inch lift on my white F-150, and before, the wheel wells just looked a little beat up. They looked dirty constantly. It just wasn't a great fit or a great look for me. I added something like this, and it was an instant improvement in not only appearance, but obviously protection as well. Now, construction again will feature a very thick polyethylene or plastic material that is going to be very tough and hold up to the rocks and mud and basic overall abuse of being mounted in the rear of your rig. Now, these things have been designed in a way that really do form fit to those rear wheel wells and do offer a low-key appearance, especially with that black finish. Now, speaking of the install here, guys, they are going to be held in place with some included hardware that Husky does kick in and does not requiring for most owners out there. Finally, guys, again, the Husky liners are going to be made right here in the USA, and they are backed by a limited lifetime warranty in case you run into any issues. Now, moving into pricing and coming in at or around that mid to high $100 mark for the pair, I think you'll find these options will be a bit more expensive when compared to other options on the site, maybe from Rough Country, for instance, but still not quite as much as maybe the rugged liners on the site here, which will edge these options out just by a few bucks. Let's get into the process of installing the liners here. And as I mentioned earlier, guys, most owners should not really expect any drilling. Instead, you're going to be using some pre-existing holes along with the included hardware. Therefore, the site is going to call this one a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about 1 hour to get everything in place. Now, to give you a better idea of what you're in for in the garage or driveway, here's an AT customer with a detailed walkthrough. Check it out.
Tools you'll need for this is a ratchet with a 7mm and a 10mm attachment. You've got your instructions here, and some fasteners and some bolts. Today we're going to go over 2021 and up Ford Raptor Husky liners, wheel well guards. First thing you want to do, start by taking off the fasteners around the wheel wells. One at a time. You can always make this faster by using a driver with a socket connected to it. And you want to set these aside for later. For more clearance, you can always jack up the car. Give the wheel well a little extra room so you're not fighting with it. need more room, you can always use a shallow socket, 7mm instead of a deep socket. There should be 8 fasteners total that we're going to remove. Okay. Once all 8 fasteners are removed, next thing we want to do is use these J clips. There's 2 for each side. You always want the threading to face back towards the inside of the vehicle, okay? And there are 2 holes at the back of the wheel well. One towards the back of the vehicle and one towards the front. We're going to slide these with threading facing back into these holes. Okay. Next step, we have our wheel well liners. These came as a set of 2. Take our zip ties off. Set these aside. And these wheel wells are going to be marked. One will say PS for passenger side, and the other will say DS for driver side. Pretty self-explanatory. DS will go on this side, PS will go on the other side. So we're going to slide this in. We're going to make sure that we go behind the shock. Okay? Really easy. And then start by tucking this in behind the wheel well here. This plastic lip on the front here, on the outside edge, is going to go between the metal fender on the inside and this plastic on the outside. You can always use a little plastic interior tool. If you're afraid of scratching something, fits in just like that. Okay, looks good. Now your 2 holes in the back will correspond with the 2 fasteners that we put in there earlier. We are now going to take our 10mm ratchet. We're going to use a ratchet to secure the backside with those fasteners we placed earlier. I suggest not tightening anything all the way until you're totally done, in case you need to make adjustments. If you're having a hard time locating the hole, this backside, you can always stick your finger behind there and lift the fastener into place to get the bolt in the right spot. Okay, now we're going to take all 8 original fasteners from the fender flare, and we're going to insert those one at a time. And like I said, we'll tighten everything up at the very end. fasteners are loosely in place, you can go back around and tighten everything up. Feel free to apply some pressure to the outer fender just to make sure the fasteners are aligned properly. Be sure not to over tighten. There are just plastic clips in there. All right, guys, now we'll fully tighten the 10mm belt in the back to hold the fender flare on, fender liner on. There you have it. Beautiful blacked out fender liner. So, to recap, we removed all these fasteners to get this plastic loose. We then inserted the wheel well liner, tucked it behind the shock here, the Fox shock here. We then put fasteners in the existing holes. Then we filled all of these back. You have a 7mm bolts here that came with the truck, and then you have 10mm supplied bolts that go into the fasteners in the back. We tightened all those. That's it. Repeat the same steps on the passenger side, and you're good to go.
So wrapping things up here, guys, again, if you are looking for affordable protection for the rear wheel wells of your F-150, along with achieving a much cleaner appearance overall, then be sure to check out the rear wheel well guards from Husky right here at AmericanTrucks.com.